So hands up, that's on me. We showed the walk-in video of Purdy yesterday at the end of OT, and I mocked the Toyotathon jacket. I should have seen 3 interceptions coming.
Yeah,
he's got a name on the back
jacket
of it.
is
you can't
questionable.
This was true when LeBron wore, and I know you loved it.
The shorts,
the Tom Ford suit
you
with the
that?
shorts. Wildes loved it.
Tom Brown.
Thank you. You're right. My bad. Tom Brown. You're correct.
You got one of
that
those?
you just
like
need. You have to have. If I win, if I lose, outfit options. And for LeBron, the short suit. Now that was right before the 3-1 comeback, so it ended up being fine. But that's not a great look after the loss. Purdy can't wear the Toyotathon NASCAR Carhartt multi-branded jacket after 3 picks and a half.
He won.
Can't. I understand, but he didn't win. The Niners won, he lost.
He did win.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but
Mr. QB win.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Danny, should the 49ers fans feel better or worse?
Worse. That was a sound the alarm Purdy performance. And I know, when the Seahawks lost to the Rams and it was a close game and they had the field goal to win and Darnold had thrown the 4 picks, I came on the air and I was like, I actually was impressed by Seattle because it was like if they could keep it close, throwing 4 picks. But that was because it was the Rams.
Yep.
And it was the best defense. Looking like that against Carolina, that should have been a loss if it wasn't Carolina. If Carolina executed off of those picks, we're talking about a Niners loss today. And Purdy, I don't know. He said after the game it wasn't injury related, and you called me a doctor yesterday on air, and it's sticking with me. But I'm not buying it because...
You think it's injury related?
He's never had the strongest arm, right? He's not Allen or Mahomes or Herbert or anything like that. I understand that. But those were lobs. They were soft.
What did you call them, Wild?
You call them muffin passes?
I've never heard of it either. You call them muffins.
He plays hockey in Chicago, and it's I think it's a hockey term when the ball looks like, or the puck looks like a muffin. So now I just use it for any.
Soft interceptions.
This is just a nice.
But I think it's better if I'm the Niners, I would kind of rather these be injury related.
Yeah, but I don't know that he's going to recover.
Fair.
I mean,
yeah, I get that.
You'd rather that for your long-term faith in Purdy over years, but not for this season.
For this year.
So I think they should feel better. To your point, now long-term, if Brock keeps playing like this, then you got an issue. So I get that. I don't think he'll keep. Obviously not going to throw 3.5 regularly, but I think he can turn it around. But if he keeps playing like this, you have a huge problem because you paid him all that money. But for the team, it's kind of like you said about Seattle. He threw 3 picks and they won. And Carolina was 6. They're 6 and 6. Are they 6 and 6 now?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, they beat the Cowboys. They are a legitimate. I don't think they're very good, but they're a legitimate playoff contender.
Bryce was bad yesterday.
Bryce was terrible. But my point is just that you beat a team with your quarterback, a playoff contender with your quarterback throwing 3 interceptions, and you beat them handily. So I definitely think they should feel better. And because Brock, even if he doesn't get back to what he was doing years ago this year, he's not going to throw 3 interceptions a game.
I don't think he's going to throw 3 interceptions a game, but there was a common thread of those interceptions. It was because he was great when he was checking it down.
Yeah.
When he was throwing short. And let's just put up if it traveled 10 yards down the field, right, yesterday. He was obviously terrible. He had the 3 interceptions, a passer rating of 2.4.
And 2 more almost picked.
Right, exactly. Yeah. It felt like you could have had a handful.
I didn't know 2.4 could even pop up there.
Yeah. I was surprised. But at the bottom
was around there.
22 of 25 for 168 yards and a touchdown on passes under 10 yards. So it's all right, well, he hasn't actually always been that bad at it. Never had a strong arm.
He's been good
But
at
Shanahan is so great at scheming guys open. I think why Shanahan loved Purdy was he could execute the passes, even without
down the field.
So even down the field. So Purdy for the last 3 years on passes that traveled more than 10 yards.
This is prior to this year?
Prior to this year.
Yeah, he was great at it. He was the best in the league.
Pre-injury. because he hurt his toe in week 1, came back in week 4, then missed all that time and came back. So the last 3 years he's been great at it, but this year, so yesterday's game and the previous whatever, it's been 4 games that he played, he's been consistently awful at it. And so I wonder, we have the last graphic that shows the whole year of it on the passes that go 10 yards. It feels like this year's going to be the outlier to the last 3. And if all you do is dink and dunk, there's a real ceiling.
I get if you're saying quickly, I get if you're saying concerns about Purdy. I'm just saying as the team, 8-4, you beat Seattle with him throwing 2 picks. You beat Carolina with him throwing 3. I wouldn't want to count on that.
KW, before we get to what you want to get to, can I jump in here?
Then I'm going to.
Yeah, you're going to take this car in a different direction. I understand. And you've been very patient on this take all day.
You've waited all the time.
So here's why I
don't know what's coming.
Here's why I would feel better if I were the Niners. Because this was a reality check for them. And I do think, as long as Christian McCaffrey's out there, and as long as Shanahan's calling the offense and Bob Saleh's calling the defense, they're dangerous. Like right now, the 2-7 is San Francisco going to face Philly. If that game were played next weekend, I'd give San Francisco a real chance of going into Philly and upsetting them. Now, granted, Philly maybe by the time the playoffs comes along is operating at a higher level than they have been all year, but right now I'd give them that shot. And we don't have to have a big picture over the last 4 years Purdy argument right now, but I've always been a skeptic.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of those numbers were more a virtue of he had better guys he had better players around him that put teams in really tough positions. He was not going to have that this year because it's McCaffrey, who's great, Kittle, who's great, and then a really blah receiving core. And I think this is a reminder for Kyle Shanahan, hey, man, we know you hated living in this world, but for the rest of this year, you're back in the Jimmy Garoppolo world.
Where you're asking. I don't necessarily think that's true.
But here, KW, he wants them to go to Mac Jones, but Mac Jones is the Jimmy Garoppolo world, where Mac was not taking a ton of chances. Mac was
playing
right. He was playing. Now he threw for a bunch of yards, but it wasn't a ton of bombs. It was more Jimmy Garoppolo-esque. And so I want you to say whatever you want to say, but I just think them throttling back on Purdy's aggressiveness and saying, like, Purdy, you don't deserve this arm arrogance. You're not going to step on people's throats like Tom Brady. What you're going to do is what you did after the 3 picks yesterday. Check it down, lean on Christian McCaffrey, trust George Kittle. I think that's a path for them. You think the path is go to Mac Jones?
Here's what's going to happen, and I'm 98% positive.
The Browns are going to beat them up?
The Browns and Myles Garrett are going to make this a nightmare game for Brock Purdy. Yet, the 49ers will win Shador's second start. It'll just be Robert Saleh. I will give that nod to the 49ers.
Also, let me add something for you there. Snow.
Oh, is
in
it
the
snowy?
Forecast. Snow in the forecast on Sunday.
So, we know that this toe, we got a report, it's going to last all year. I think there was a report it might last his whole career.
Well, no, that wasn't a report. Troy Aikman's like, man, Deion's dealt with this for 30 years.
If Troy Aikman says it, I believe.
Yeah.
Sure. Danny put the numbers down. You went from the best in the league to bad at it.
2.4.
Yeah. You're hurt. So it is what it is. So he's going to come out. Mac Jones is going to go in. Mac Jones is going to be throwing pillows around the field and be like, oh,
what is the difference between pillows and muffins?
Good question.
Pillowy ball is easy to catch.
Yeah.
For both teams sometimes.
So how's that different than a muffin?
A muffin is just kind of floating up there. A pillow is like nice.
So what's Mac going to lead them to?
I think Mac will make them a dangerous team in the playoffs. And Brock is going to sit until he's healthy, which isn't going to happen. You can't go into the playoffs with a quarterback who has 8 touchdowns and 7 interceptions and being like, we've got the better quarterback.
Well, he's got it. Look, I do think, they've said it's not going to be healthy this year. If the toe is bothering, he needs to sit and try to get healthy.
And I think Danny's graphic shows
next year.
The toe is bothering him.
Right, so try to get healthy for next year. Because, look, we know the contract, and it's a no-trade clause.
Yeah.
And I do think, even if it were a legit, if Purdy isn't hurt, I would not bench him now. But if he were to continue, obviously, to play poorly like this, then you could bench him. And I think you can bounce back from that. I mentioned guys earlier who have been benched. He's a young. He has
After
no
they got
choice.
paid, though.
Yeah, but you got no choice. What's he gonna do? Like
I'm saying the comps, though.
He's a young player that has to. I mean, like I mentioned, Aikman, Breeze,
But
Kurt
to
Warner,
Danny's point, all those guys were before they got big deals. And
But
so
what
it-
is he going to do?
No,
if
nothing.
He's,
He's not going to do anything.
He's going to have to fight
Like-
for his position. They're going to want to play him, but he's going to have to fight for it and get better.
My question
I don't think it's like he's done. We wasted all this money.
Because they play the Browns, then they have a bye, then they play the Titans. The tricky spot is KW playing poorly and winning. Would they, let's assume you're right about the Browns game, but they don't bench him. They're like, hey, we're going to bye, you know what I mean? And so they play, then the Titans game rolls around.
You win again.
And he plays
Win 20-9.
poorly, and it's not quite as bad as yesterday, but again, would they bench their $50+ million a year quarterback on a winning streak at 10-4?
No.
The
answer is no.
And I think
It's the wrong decision.
But KW, I think you
Matt
normally
wasn't
would
great
not.
every game either.
I think you would never
wasn't throwing
advocate
picks galore.
for a team benching their starting franchise quarterback on a winning streak unless your guy was his backup.
I love winning streaks, and I love momentum, and I love quarterback wins.
Yes.
Here is the hottest take I can give you. The 49ers should play the better quarterback. That's it. And it's not has anything to do with his contract. The guy is in a very the opposite of the Goldilocks zone. Healthy enough to play, not healthy enough to be good. And he's like, oh, what am I supposed to do? I'm not the same guy, but I look the same. It's a toe, which is weird. If it was a hamstring, I think it's like, well, my hamstring. I think it's weird because like toes are little, even though they're super. It is. I think it's
They're
just
important.
It's just an odd thing. It's like, well, it's a
10 of
toe.
them.
Just get out there. You got a lot of them. Mac Jones is going to start a game, or at least he should for this 49ers.
If he's hurt, they should just sit him. If he's legitimately
They have an
hurt,
excuse
they
in
should
the
just sit him.
injury. Yeah.
He's hurt.
Okay. Well, they're not coming in at the 10 spot, Wilds, because the Indianapolis Colts, I'm not going to drop them a lot for losing to the Chiefs.
Bears ahead of the Colts.
No. Should I spoiler
Well,
alert?
obviously they are.
Well, or obviously,
There's no way
prove
the
it to me
Bears
on Black
are not
Friday.
on here.
Hey, the
hate to
Bud
say
list is motivational. You guys have 10 hours. I only have 5. I gotta move my motivation into top 10.
If the Bears
It's like
don't show
tiers
up on here,
and
we have a
Bud.
big problem.
Okay, well,
But go ahead.
Well, the offense is trending in the wrong direction. 5 touchdowns, 7 turnovers in the last 3 games for Daniel Jones and the Colts. But I think that they are still worthy over their offensive production of the season to hang on to a top 10 spot. Number 9, the Lions. I don't like that my Super Bowl pick out of the NFC allowed over 500 yards to Jameis Winston and the New York Giants. I don't like it. But I do like the fact that they were good enough to win in a game where they did that. Jahmyr Gibbs deserves to be in that conversation for best running back in the NFL. At number 8, Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills
Wow, your Super Bowl matchup.
are going. I know, 9 and 8. Both of them
Not really, according to these rankings.
down arrows next to them. They had a streak where they won the turnover differential in 26 consecutive games. In the last 7, it's not so hot. I think they're 2-5 in the last 7. Yeah, 2 of the last 7 weeks, they've won the turnover battle after going 26 for 26. They're going to have to write that if they're going to win the AFC and make me look good for my preseason Super Bowl pick. Coming in at number 7, Knicks Kansas City Chiefs.
Bears ahead of the Chiefs?
They're not. Nick, don't make me look bad in Chicago.
No,
Well, let's see. I guess stay tuned. Time spent listening. Time spent watching. That was the first game where I really felt like it looked like a Chiefs game from last year. Double-digit comeback entering the fourth quarter, 1-score win. Other team forgetting basic strategy, like giving the ball to Jonathan Taylor, and the Chiefs, the heart of a champion, coming out with a win. Number 6. You know how good the Denver Broncos look when they're not playing? Because I got questions about every other team on this list. I don't really only think one team in the NFL is good. We'll get to that at number 1. It's a good place to put them. But they've outsacked their opponent in every game. They've got an elite defense. They didn't lose this past week because they weren't playing. Broncos get to stay in the 6th spot. Number 5, the New England Patriots. Highest they've been on Top 10 Tuesday, and we should look at the resume for the Patriots because it's undeniably impressive. 8th in points per game. 6th in yards per game, the most explosive plays in the NFL, the most takeaways in the NFL, the 31st ranked strength of schedule. So it's an impressive resume. Everyone agrees, an impressive. One mistake. That's the resume of the Chicago Bears.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, that's the resume of the Chicago Bears.
I don't think we have that many takeaways.
Yeah, no,
Wow.
you know, but you're like, oh wow, it's a good team. They absolutely
What
deserve.
a turnabout.
That was good.
Absolutely
I like that,
deserve to
actually.
be there on the list. So is it the Patriots? Is it the Bears? Nobody can really tell, but those are the Patriots right
So wait, so are the
Does
Bears
not like
number
that
5?
take.
No, it was just a
They're
way.
number 4,
No,
apparently.
No. It's just that's where the Patriots are. My point is, it could be the Bears. Coming in at number 4, the Baltimore Ravens.
What?
Nick, relax on the Bears. They're gonna
I'm now aghast at
love
the
the
Ravens.
Ravens.
Drew doesn't even have the Ravens this high.
The Ravens have held their opponent to under 20 points.
You like defense.
6 weeks in a row. Yeah, all of these teams have massive question marks. So what can I count on? I can count on the Ravens defense, and I think Lamar is going to get it together. Get it together, Lamar.
I'll take it.
Coming in at number 3, the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, the Eagles, they have a formula, and it's win ugly, have an impressive resume, and then they blow a 21-point lead to Dallas. But all 3 of their losses are following the exact same path. They have a lead, they look good, and then they do nothing in the second half. Nick Sirianni, this feels like it's on you. Patullo, Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Instagram posts, Twitch streams. Figure out a way to not be a terrible second half team when you lose the game, and you could still win the Super Bowl. Coming in at number 2, Seattle Seahawks. Wasn't the prettiest win. Look this up. Jackson Smith and Jigba, 46% of the yardage gained. The second highest total for any player in the NFL since 1970.
Wow.
You got to go back to Ken Burrow, 0-0 on the old Houston
Brew
Oilers.
covered
I
him.
remember Kimber.
Yeah,
I
but
think I was a kid.
But I mean, not Derrick Henry, not Christian McCaffrey, not Randy Moss, just Jackson Smith and Jigba, number 2 for the most yards there. And then there should be a huge gap between 2 and 1. The Rams come in at number 1. And came up with this week, wanted to show it to you guys. If you have a quarterback with over 30 passing touchdowns and a defense allowing 17 or fewer points per game through 11 games in NFL history, Dan Marino's MVP year in '84, 07 Patriots, you guys have heard of them, and the 2025.
It's a great recipe to lose the Super Bowl.
Okay.
To win MVP.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah, no.
MVP, lose in a Super Bowl, and
I'd sign up for that.
and be the best team in the league.
Yeah.
The LA Rams. Perfect top 10, bro.
That's a crazy list.
Not really.
Yeah.
I was going to, honestly, be like, for now, the Ravens are too high. But I said, you know what? I'll ride with it.
Put on the road, bro. You want me to take the road?
I'll let you go with it. Packers. I'm putting the Packers. I'm putting the Packers ahead of the Lions. So get the Lions out of there. Because here's why, Wowzy, as you do all your little shenanigans.
Wilds hates.
I got an idea.
It's week 1.
If we want to find out who's better,
Are they going to win this?
let's have them play each other. How about that?
There's a chance they get crushed. There's a chance they get crushed
really?
in Detroit. Yes.
Let's have them play each other. All right? Because the
Okay.
last time they played, the Packers won by 2 touchdowns.
That was week 1.
Okay,
All sorts
this
of
one, you know
wacky
what
stuff
wasn't
happening.
week 1? Just a few days ago, when the Packers manhandled Minnesota. A Minnesota team.
Minnesota?
Here's why.
Yeah.
Because a Minnesota team that a month ago beat the Detroit Lions.
Transitive property.
But-
I'm just saying, like, the Lions I get it, the Packers have not been incredibly impressive, but have the Lions?
No, I mean, because as bad as Minnesota is, the Giants have been worse, and the Giants took the Lions to overtime, which brings me to my issue.
All right, what's your issue, Nick?
Christina, if you would, just put up my bar, because I don't have a singular issue. My question is, why even play the games?
To gamble?
Because why
do you mean?
are we even playing the games? If Baltimore, which the only reason you or others believe Baltimore can win the Super Bowl is Lamar Jackson, that offense. How many times have I had to hear you say, if you have a top 5 offense, you're in the mix? The offense has been MIA for a month of the actual games.
Have they lost
But no,
any
no,
of those
no.
games?
You don't care about record. They're 6-5 and they're number 4. I don't understand any of it. The Lions this week. You don't believe in the Packers for, I believe, preconceived offseason notions. The Lions have not looked good for a month. They just needed a 60-yard field goal at the gun to escape against the Giants. They barely moved down. The Patriots move up despite playing one of their worst games of the year after refusing to respect them all year.
We are the best team in the league.
But those times you guys have looked impressive. Danny would give you no credit. And the Bears, how do you not have the Bears, who yesterday you told us were in the playoffs, we're a legit good team.
They are.
In your top 10.
Well, 14 teams make the playoffs. This is Top 10 Tuesday. Here's a question for you, Nick.
Yeah.
So, why do they even play the games? Again, this is motivation, it's lists, it's all things coming to one. Can I see Nick's tears from this week, please?
Sure.
Can I see the tears? And I know you're going to blame, like,
we've
Albert or
We don't have the tears
Quincy.
yet. We did the mountain.
Yeah.
No, did you
These
not?
were all
last
week?
Last week. Oh, these were entering last week.
Yeah.
Some of these teams, because, Brew, can you help me remember Rams-Eagles? Who won the game?
I didn't say anything about head-to-head. You assumed, let me tell you something. You assumed I was going to make an argument I didn't make, and now you're bringing up last week's tiers.
No, I'm sorry. Bills and Patriots, they played each other, right? Yeah, but they're on the same tier.
I understand that. I get that
The
entirely.
Bills beat the Chiefs, right?
Yes, I get that
Okay,
entirely.
I'm just curious. Why do we even play the games?
Yeah, again.
Why do we even play the games?
Danny, you need to get. Why aren't the Bears where the Lions are?
He doesn't. No one knows.
I want to
He's
see
just
them
happy they're
beat
relevant.
Philly.
No,
It's motivation. It's motivation.
no one knows.
And then this was how he announced it. If him saying it, you didn't believe it, he wore a LeBron jersey, flashed the guns, and said, he's back.
That thing is tight.
Yeah, it is.
That is tight.
Jordan did it first, though, with the he's back. It was a fax, though, back in the 90s. Coach, what are your expectations for Burrow's return?
Yeah, I'm not sure what to expect. He's only thrown the ball 36 times this season, and now he's coming back. And if you look at last year's games against Baltimore, they were both shootouts. They lost one, I think it was 41-38 in overtime and 35-34. So the offense for Cincinnati has been explosive with Flacco. It should be equally as explosive with Burrow. I would imagine Jamar Chase, this is a little bit of a redemption game for what missing last week, so that's good too. It's just with so much time off and such limited exposure this year, it's hard to not imagine there's some rust that he's got to knock off, especially early in the game.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just don't understand why he's playing. And I know we brought this up the last time, like, well, he's a competitor, but this team is 3-8, man. Like, I don't understand what you're going to accomplish by trying to beat the Baltimore Ravens. It's not like you win and you're in type of situation, or you win a division, or you're ahead in the division.
What do you make of what he said, though? He said he's always wanted to play on Thanksgiving, and it's an opportunity to continue to prove who he is.
It means nothing when your franchise quarterback is dealing with a gimpy toe. And I understand from him, I understand him being an emotional spark. I understand him kind of really elevating the offense. But like Coach said, Zach Taylor's been here before. He knows. We know that first 15 is going to be easy throws, quick slants. You're going to see choice routes with Jamar Chase. I get all that, but you're putting your future quarterback at risk for a reward that means nothing. So I'm struggling with that overall, but I expect Joe Burrow to be accurate. I expect him to understand that the Ravens are going to dial up blitzes, they're going to try to get after him, and they're going to try to test his process. So we'll see, but I just don't get why he started.
Now, they did win 5 in a row last year. If they win all 6, they've got a 46% chance of making the playoffs. It's not great, but with the way that division is set up, and if they can beat Baltimore twice, who knows?
And that's where I come out on it. Like, my expectations is he's going to be great because I think he's a great player when he's healthy. Like, when he's healthy, he's great. And I'm with you. If he's not going to be great, then there's no reason to be doing this.
But we can't judge if he's going to be healthy till he plays this game. We don't know where he's at. Everybody looks great in practice.
I obviously haven't even seen the practices. I'm just saying he's not going to be able to be graded on a curve. They're basically they have to win out to even have a shot.
Yep.
Flacco has not. If he comes back and is worse than Flacco, then then what are you doing? Their next 3 are Ravens, Bills, Ravens. He'll treat those like they're his playoff games.
Sure.
These guys work year-round to play these 17 games a year. When he saw this schedule come out 9 months ago, he was like, oh, man, we get the Ravens on Thanksgiving, then we get the Bills, then we get the Ravens again. Like, he's probably been thinking about this pocket of the schedule for 8 months?
Yeah, I just don't think the risk is worth the reward. You know he's injury prone. He's been in this position before. He is the future of your franchise. And now you're talking about a defense that can't do anything to combat what the opposition tries to do to them. And I think Joe Burrow is a hell of a quarterback. I expect him to be great. But I just don't. I think if this thing goes left against a very worthy defense of the Baltimore Ravens, now you're digging yourself a bigger hole. I just don't think it's worth it.
So you'd shut him down for the year?
Yeah, you're 3-8. This season has been lost 2 weeks ago.
With the division the way it is, though, and the fact they're playing the Ravens twice in the next 3 weeks,
You honestly think they're going to beat the Ravens?
Yeah,
I don't.
I think that based off of how they played last year, and the Ravens' offense hasn't been clicking very much this year. They got hot at the end of the season. I think who knows? Let's see what happens. If it doesn't go well, then you think about it differently the following week.
These offenses are both really scary. Cowboys have a few numbers that are better. Chiefs have a few numbers that are better. Coach, which offense do you trust more?
On Thanksgiving, I'm going with Dallas. The last 3 Thanksgivings, they've won by an average point differential of 16.7, so almost 17 points per Thanksgiving. So there's that. They play well on the day. And then when you look at the 2 quarterbacks, if we can just pull up where they are comparatively, you can see how well Dak is playing right now. 5th in completion percentage, 2nd in pass TDs, passer rating. And then if you want to go bigger picture and look at how the offenses are playing, it's hard to argue with what Dallas is doing. 4th, 1st, 6th. 11th is a little bit of drop there, but they're still better than Kansas City. And then time sack, Dak's done a great job there too of avoiding sacks. So I like where Dallas is offensively. I like the fact that they were able to fight back the way they were last week. And I also like the way they play on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I trust the Cowboys too. And the simple fact they get it done in the red zone. The Chiefs don't. And that's been a big bugaboo the last couple of weeks for them. I got a graphic to show you how bad they are if you throw it up.
It's
man.
a graphic off.
Yeah, we got to go right at each other. But I look at this. This is who they are. I mean, this is not the Chiefs we expected to be. This is not the Chiefs that we think are going to make it into playoffs and cause damage. This is who they are. And they've struggled, especially last week. I thought they were going to get over the kind of the bugaboo they dealt with in Denver. And you see how they, pretty much went 1 for 6 in the red zone this past week. And I'm saying to myself, Patrick Mahomes' cape is wearing thin. He can only shoulder this offense for so long. And I trust Dak. I trust the trio, Pickens and CD and Ferguson. They do it right, and they win their one-on-ones. And they keep Dak upright. So I got the Cowboys.
So, I mean, that graphic shows me that the last 2 weeks are more the outlier, and the first 9, I'm assuming, is what they're going to be. It's weird. So it's a clean sweep. In terms of the offensive side of the ball, I do trust Dallas more. But I'll just flip it to you guys and say, even though I think Dallas's offense is more explosive, we agree. This year, Dak has been more consistent than Mahomes.
Right.
I think we all would agree on that. I still trust the Chiefs in a must-win spot to get it done. The Cowboys playing well on Thanksgiving, that doesn't mean much for me. It's different coaches, it's different years. 1 year it's against the Giants. I don't know that this Cowboys team with George Pickens, who didn't play in the last couple of games, I don't know that they're going to be ready. I don't think there's any challenge that the Chiefs could have where it's we don't know how to get ready for a Thursday night game. But it's even though the Cowboys offense is better than the Chiefs, I still trust the Chiefs to win the game when both teams need the game as much as they do.
What's interesting, though, is as we've talked so much about how bad the Dallas defense has been.
It's been better recently.
It's been a lot better recently. The addition of Quinn Williams has made a significant difference. I think collectively they're playing better in terms of understanding the scheme. And the defensive coordinator, Matt Eberflus, being able to understand the players better, what they can do well and can't do well. So that's been good also. And I get what you're saying about last year and the year before. It doesn't necessarily matter. But there are some moments where you have a tradition like Dallas has this tradition that can be a little bit different and can be an edge for you if you're used to playing it year in, year out. And a lot of those guys have been part of that.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys just aren't beating themselves like the Chiefs are. Penalty-wise, they just riddled. I mean, back-to-back weeks, you talk about this team just – especially on 1st and 2nd down, they're just not getting it done, and they're getting dumb penalties that's really pushing this offense back. But overall, I just trust the Cowboys. They're in the groove, and I'm with you, Coach. That win against the Eagles, it showed me a lot. They got heart, right? They could have laid down being down 21-zip. They didn't. It's
kind of a remarkable thing. Dallas then, with this offense that we're now saying we trust more than the Chiefs, but they lost to Carolina, they lost to Arizona, and it's probably too little too late for them to actually go on in here and make a run.
Well, the other thing with Mahomes, if you look at his last 3 games, he's got 3 games in a row now of sub-80 quarterback rating.
Yeah.
It's only happened one other time in his career, and that was 2021. He's in a slump that he hasn't seen in quite some time, which which you wouldn't really think because he comes off such an exciting overtime victory against Indianapolis.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.